It's always been such a pain, such a pity, these constant prayers for my city. But when it's time to move them things, I knew the witty and the gritty. So now I battle, fight, or struggle, tenaciously to achieve or resist. Empower you stronger, ensure you endure long enough to persist. I network a system of interconnected people or things. Provide a platform for personal reform and see what that brings. So welcome to Battle and Power Network podcast series. Let's discuss.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Take a drink.
A little sip. A little sip. We live. We out here.
We are. Because we
Really
got a
out here.
couple discussions. I'm Battle. I'm here with BK of the Valley Boys.
1/3 of the Valley Boys.
1/3.
One whole of the Sun God.
But we're going to discuss AM2PM, BK solo track. Album.
It's a bit longer than a track.
It is.
It's a few tracks.
What's a track again? No. But we're going to discuss a little bit about AM2PM. And we're going to do some giveaways and update you on some information about the Central Valley Roots Festival, too.
Don't forget that, too.
Hosted by Battle and Power Network, which is going to be on May 26th at 9 p.m. at the Ivy Room in Fresno. Just jumping into it, AM
Straight
to
into
PM,
it.
right?
Mm-hmm.
AM
To PM.
to PM. So what were some of your inspirations for AM to PM?
It originally came about, it started with, I had about 5-6 songs that were just kind of random. I was just creating, and I had about 5 or 6, and it got to the point where I was like, alright, well I should probably try and do something with these songs, like organize them into some type of project or something. So I started doing that. The concept of the AM to PM, I'm not really sure. I don't know. It just kind of came about naturally, you know. I always like going into projects having like a full kind of like idea or something that I could break down.
Like a concept, so you just know.
Yeah, a theme or
Yeah.
something like that. So I had that, and then that's what I kind of started doing. I just kind of started separating songs by that structure, and then creating with that structure in mind.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how it came about.
And I appreciate it. A lot of people like don't think about how underutilized that is. Like Wale's one of my favorite because conceptually through a track, but through an entire album is something else. Because a lot of people like to cater in different areas.
Mm-hmm.
And I was telling you like what I liked about it is it seemed like a wake up, I'm killing, and then it's like okay, I'm just gonna subside a little for like a solo, album. It just offers so many different feels to it too.
There's a lot.
There
to it.
are, and I liked how you did separate it into it too, because first section, With Love, Lost, Beautiful Days, and Can't Stay.
Yeah.
So Lost was one of my favorite ones.
Appreciate
I liked
it.
Can't Stay too because it added like this economy of like I'll meet you halfway, but there's no specific. It has to be about this. Like we're all in those interactions with people, so you can relate to it because everything is like, well, I gotta work on me. I gotta do this for me, or you gotta do this for you type of environment.
That's what I wanted. Like I wanted it to be. You're getting my perspective on the project. You're getting my perspective on a lot of different things, but it's also at the same time it's like I want you to take it and then make it your own, and then you live with it because that's what I had to do. I made this project at least 2 years ago. It's been done. Music, everything done. I made Conscious Colors after I made this project.
Oh wow!
Okay. Just because I knew when I was making it that it was how special it was.
Yeah.
And
it's timing.
And it's timing, and that's what the whole project revolves around.
Yeah.
It's timing. So.
And I can see that because Lost is also one of those tracks where it's like, well, what is it? What the different hooks in the different areas you go from, I'm lost, you're lost.
Yeah.
To we're lost.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those feels where it's like, okay,
yeah,
like we can all be in this.
Absolutely.
It is definitely relatable, and it's not like something where it's like you don't have to feel anything. It's like no, like just vibe with it, and you can see like these type of feelings and emotions that I can bring forth. I can bring it in a cool way, and you could just chill and vibe to it. It doesn't have to be like,
Yeah.
you know, like,
Yeah,
well, I
yeah,
don't know.
for
I
sure.
think everything's like a cliche, like, I'm, you know, smoking. Like, even if you
Yeah.
do smoke weed, it's not nothing bad, but like, you get like trapped into these different genres, but I think you flexed a little bit to show like, I'm not in this one box.
Yeah.
I can rap about like this type of stuff, and it can all still be conscious. It's like you might have to think about it, or it's like that was cold.
It really is like
That was cold.
it really is almost. It could be considered 3 different projects, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know, the morning, the afternoon, the night, because they don't sound anything alike,
No.
and just from the subjects and the content, they're so different from one another. You know.
True.
Just like a day, you know what I mean? Just like morning, afternoon, and night. It's different vibes, it's different feels, but you can throw them on at any time and vibe with them. So
Absolutely. And I think you kind of walked, like, if you listen to it, because I don't know, I feel like I like to listen to everything, headphones on, and I'm trying to, like, figure out, like, kind of what you were going through and what your thought process was for everything. So definitely in the AM, it was just like, okay, this is like, I can see that you probably wrote it before Conscious Colors, because it does some tracks, especially what was the very first one?
With
Love. Yeah, it sounds like an introduction, like, hey, I'm kind of introducing you to me. I just kind of woke up into this,
exactly.
but it's very
That's
conscious in the sense that it's like, hey, but we really talking about some shit. So like, welcome to this, but like we really talking about some shit.
And that's what it is. It's like stay woke and shit.
Yeah, no,
but at the same time, it's the first song, and it's meant to be like, even the message behind it is, even the title, just with love.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's a dream-like kind of state still, even though it's very, it's awake and whatnot. But it's like it's almost a dream-like to just be like, because even take right now in our world. You just say, all we need is love, which is true, right? Literally, I mean, that's it. But of course, there's all kinds of politics and things that get involved. So it's to just say that, to just say with love, that's all we need, is kind of like a dream in of itself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's like, it's not 100% reality, even though it should be, but it's not really, So that's what I was going for with that one.
You could tell. Well, I could tell. And then
That's crazy.
I'm not sure. Like, it really did feel like a timetable. Like, you would think like the sun going right around the dial.
Mm-hmm.
So with Love, it was like not like super slow, but it was kind of like, okay, it's just barely 1 o'clock. And then by the time you get to Beautiful Days, you can tell like the afternoon is coming.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to explain it, but
no,
like,
that's because I wanted the production of the project, all the sounds that you're hearing. Is giving you it's almost like when I was doing it, it was almost like a 2-hour, like each song was kind of like 2 hours. There's 12 songs, you got 24 in a day, so each one is like 2 hours, and I really wanted to give it like each song in their own space, but at the same time, like you said, walk you through it. And so if you are listening with that in mind, you'll definitely be able to pick up on that very, very quickly as you go along with it. For sure.
Absolutely.
So that's dope. You should pick that up.
And then that leads us to the middle of the day. 3 Kings, Lingichi. What is it?
Ling Chi.
Linchi. There you go. The Plague, Shades of Sun.
Yeah.
And I think these are like the most lyrically flexed time that I've seen, because I feel like I've heard like a lot of your stuff. I'm not gonna say I know all of your stuff.
You have, bro. You heard a lot.
I really have, but I feel like these are the ones where it was like, that's why I said the second one sounded like, no, we're not going to wait till the end of the day to like flex on this. I'm going to show you, like, I'm here right now and it's time to kill it, mid-afternoon. 3 Kings is one of my favorites. That one's with both of the Valley Boys, correct?
Yes.
I've
it's
been
G and K-Rock are on there.
Absolutely.
That's what I was going for. In the very beginning, the morning section, it's a lot more melodies and uplifting, you know what I mean? Kind of like,
you gotta wake up.
You gotta wake up and you gotta get after it type of deal. And then the afternoon section is I just wanted to go all bars. I just wanted to rap.
Yeah.
I don't think there's even any hooks on any of the songs in there. So it's just all rap. Still conceptual. It still has its own concepts and stuff.
But even like different concepts in those, because right, the Plague was kind of like a getting ready, like I killed you off. Like, you're dying right now. I don't think you realize that you're dying. And then Shades of the Sun is the Art of War one, right?
Yeah, that's
and that one was, oh my goodness. No, I love that one because of the little, the audio you threw in it. It's like you flex and then you're like, oh no, be nice, like.
Yeah.
And then you just kill it. I can't tell you everything because you're not listening to it. I'm just saying,
Exactly.
listen to it and you're gonna kind of get what I mean.
We can't give too much. We can't give. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to like hold back a little bit. I don't want to give too much away because you can listen to it. You'll be able to get it. But no, for real, I just like I said, I just wanted to flex on that in the afternoon section, but still do what I do, which I feel like is take a topic and dissect it and then give it back to you, how I see it.
Yeah, I thought all three of those. So I think, as far as like if I liked every single one in the section, it would be that one. I liked all of them.
See, that's dope though. That's dope.
It's
that's,
just like
that's what I
some
wanted.
of them just like hit me more because it's like what you're saying.
Yeah.
A lot of people are not even talking about that. It's like you could really talk about something that's aware.
Yeah.
And still like twist it in a way where it's like, damn, I didn't know you could say it like that. And it's like interesting. It's like some of it's funny too because it's like you're just gassing and I'm just like, oh, okay, I didn't know I could like go hard to this song like this.
Yeah, for sure.
But you can.
For sure.
And then that's why I said like even looking at the track list, just trying to like refresh my memory on it. Like I liked all of them. I liked Pennies in the Streets, which is the very last one.
Yeah.
Because it just ends off on a smooth like, hey, just remember like from the beginning we can all still be lost and you can still do shit.
For sure.
It's kind of like the vibe I was getting Till Death Do Us Part. I just like it. It reminded me of some Bonnie and Clyde type.
Bonnie and Clyde, JFK, Jackie O.
But it's like
for sure.
All of them. I think they're dope.
The night section, that's more of like it's more of it moves from the rap, the bars, and I think like I'm always gonna have that on projects. You know what I mean? Like no matter what I'm trying to do with it or what point I'm trying to get across, like I'm always just gonna remind you like, hey, I can rap my ass off. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? At any given time, because I just feel like MCs should be able to do that. You know. But going into the night, I wanted to. It's more storytelling. It's more storytelling. I wanted to showcase that aspect in that section, and I wanted to really try and just tell some personal stories too at the same time. You know, I got two in Pennies in the Street and Samsara. I've got two really stories and things, situations that have really changed my life. You know, how I look at life. So I wanted to throw those in there and just let people hear it, let people live with it as well, because what's old to me is new to you, possibly. That's a beautiful thing about music. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like what's old to me can be brand new to you, but it can change you and have that effect.
But that's that classic effect. Like if it can survive a couple. For sure. That's
why I'm so proud. Like I'm so hyped even right now. Like just knowing that this is gonna sound like straight from ego, but knowing that it's like I know it's like timeless. Because I've already given it years.
And it's still fresh.
And it's still fresh to my ears. I might be like, I might get tired of working on it. But at the same time I say that, but I can work. I'd be able to still work on this project like forever. Yeah. You know what I mean? But there comes a certain point in time where you're like, all right, like, goddamn, like I got, you know what I mean?
You gotta give it up.
You gotta share.
For sure. So then I also did the highlights for Conscious Colors. So looking at them next to each other, what do you think the biggest differences are?
Biggest differences. I don't know. I think there's a lot more similarities than differences, to be honest. Like I said, I made AM2PM first as my first project, and I knew that it was going to take time to really be delivered in the way that I wanted to, and for it to reach people how I wanted it to. Excuse me. I couldn't allow it to fall on deaf ears. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I had to follow that with something that was equally good, but also let people know this is what I'm capable of. This is kind of how I go about doing what I do. So I made Conscious Colors and had, you know, a lot of the same kind of themes and concepts and things like that. But I feel like this is more like narrowed down. Conscious Colors was kind of just random and like, you know, all over the place with the vibes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even though each song was specific, very specific, the whole project was kind of just, you know, it's like throwing paint on the wall. You know what I mean?
It wasn't like a conceptual, like you got to work all through it. You kind of could just pick colors and be like, okay,
exactly.
You know.
Whereas this one, if you listen, you can start it and you can, you know, listen all the way through and, you know, get a full sense of what I was talking about, what I was going for.
I think they're both good stamps as far as like building your resume. As far as what you can do, it's allowing some consistency in the sense that you know that you're gonna bring something conscious. Whether it's like colors or anything, it's gonna be like some aware that you can feel. So I think it's like solidifying that, if anything, that hey, like I'm actually building a resume of like this is the kind of artist I am, but I'm still growing in that sense because I was talking to a few people about this project, and I was like, I'm not like kissing ass thinking, oh my goodness, this is the best project ever on the planet, but I especially appreciate the growth because I'm more of like a beats type person, but not even because I love lyrics too. Well, no, I only love lyrics. It's hard to explain. I feel like there has to be some cohesion in it.
For sure.
And I have to feel all of the consistency.
You don't want to hear the best lyrics over the worst production, because then it's like, I don't care what you're saying. It's so bad.
Yeah.
It's drowning out whatever it is that you're talking about.
Yeah. And I don't feel that way. I just feel like there's some beats that aren't for me. Like, just like, you know, K-Dot would attack a beat, and I'm just like, why would you make a song out of that? But it's like, you got bars on it still.
Yeah.
And that's what,
Ling Chi, there you go.
There you go. See, I got it. You don't understand. But no, as far as Ling Chi, like, the whole time I was like, I'm not really feeling the beat, but then I'm like, you just came so technical with it, like, and then you killed it, so I'm like, alright, so he did really flex right there, like, you might not think, like, anybody can make it out of this, but then I also think of that in the sense, like, you're learning to play piano, right? Trying. Yeah. But I feel like there's a level that an artist evolves to once they learn those things. We were even talking about earlier how, like, J. Cole and K-Dot been playing with like live instrumentals to make their own stuff. So I feel like once you have that control, you're going to be able to look back on that and be like, damn, I could have did that so much better, because there's a difference between like you saying, hey, like try to find this sound for me and make it for me, and you being able to do it yourself.
Absolutely.
So
and that's with you know, playing instruments, learning instruments, or learning mixing and mastering, or learning different techniques for recording. So the reason why his music is so crazy to listen to is because he's learned over time and over the process of making projects. He knows how to control his voice and do different things, you know, with his voice and just different effects and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So I feel like as an artist, you shouldn't, you know, don't limit yourself to just one certain thing. You know, try to be as open as possible and as honest as possible, you know, as you're learning and growing, and it's just gonna open more doors for you. It's gonna know, you know, when you first start off, you learn a lot about your strengths and about your weaknesses. You know what I mean?
It takes your commitment too.
Your commitment, for sure, definitely.
I mean, the biggest step sometimes, you know, free beats versus you actually working with a producer to help kind of landscape how you want everything to sound. Like, you gotta really be invested and actually care about that. Some people just want shortcuts, like, man, who has the dopest beats? Just give me that and I'll figure it out. But different artists work different ways. For sure. I feel like it definitely helps if you know instruments and shit like that, that you know how to build it.
It's a lot. It's more just like, to me, I look at it like kind of just like lucking up and, you know, having something that works, or having more of a, it's like you're in the kitchen and you just happen to just make some shit that tastes good, just with some random ingredients and shit, or you got more of a recipe. So even if you don't have the highest quality ingredients or whatnot, you got the recipe down, so you can, you know what I mean? You can make it work.
Make that formula for yourself.
You know?
No, for sure.
That hamburger helper. Shout out to Hamburger Helper.
Got the recipe.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, dead. No, for sure. And that even takes time. Like, it does take that trial and error. We were talking about, like, how we think in some areas people felt. Well, I was saying how I thought, J. Cole could have came harder on the last project if he wasn't trying to play with that stuff himself. Mm-hmm. But I feel like all it's going to do is just add more. And Russ is, like, the biggest example of that, because if you listen to all his stuff, like, his earlier stuff, it's not that it was bad, but you could tell that he was still figuring out and tweaking how he could play certain instruments. And once you figure that out, like, you pretty much have everything you need. You just got to keep working to get better, because I noticed that too, like, even in your attempts, because you would think, like, okay, wouldn't conscious rappers run out of stuff to talk about?
Yeah, that's one thing that, I mean, I don't know, I think if you're an artist, any kind of artist, that's always at one time or another, like, in the back of your mind, like, damn, what, but I don't know, I thought about it, and it's like, if you're honest with yourself, and you're never going to be able to run out of things to say or talk about, because you just have to be present. You just have to be here, because the world's not stopping. So, as long as you just keep doing your thing and be honest, you're always going to be inspired.
Yeah.
If you keep your inspiration up, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you're always going to be inspired. You can never run out of that. As long as you, and if you do, like, sometimes, like, I won't be inspired to write or something, then I just won't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'll just go do some other shit, and take a walk, or go to the gym, or something, you know what I mean? And then come back, and then it's like, oh, okay, now is the time to do that.
So, like, a mix of, like, letting it come to you and just experience. I think that's for sure.
That's what I think it is. That's what I think it comes down to. Because sometimes I'll try and force the pen to the paper, and I can do it, and then eventually it'll happen. But the best I found, when I get the best, what I think is my best content is just, I'm just lucky enough to have picked up the pen and put it to the pad at that time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just a matter of timing.
Yeah.
AM2PM.
For real.
That's what it is.
For real. So, as far as the differences, what were you trying to bring forth in every track? Was there anything in the back of your mind? I wanted to match the subject and the content with the production and the instrumental and the sounds. I think that's always going to be, I'm always going to try and do that. I did that with Conscious Colors, and I did that with AM2PM as well. Like, I'm always going to try and match the sounds that you hear with what you hear me saying, what you hear me talking about, and I think that's why it was such an easy thing to do, because I think I have a pretty good idea. Like, I'll hear something, and I have a good idea of where I'll be able to take it. Yeah.
And I'll have an even better idea of how I can take you along with me to that place. Right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I think that's important too. You don't want to.
Which is underrated. Storytelling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Being able to push it farther than just my verse on someone else's track, because most people, that's all they bring in is like, okay, I got this verse.
For sure.
But I like that too, the consistency of, like, from one verse to the next, you know that there's still some consistency in it, which is, hip-hop storytelling into it, which I thought was dope, and how you put it was pretty dope as well.
Appreciate it.
For
sure.
So this is a solo album. So what does this album mean for BK?
It means a lot. It means a lot. I don't know, I just feel like even right now, like, I feel so, just being able to release it and talk about it and share it and let people know what it is and why it is the way it is, like, it's just such a relief, and kind of like a weight off my shoulders, you know what I'm saying? Because I had to hold on to it until so long. But this project taught me a lot of patience. Gave me a lot of patience. I don't know, and like I said, timing. That's the word that I'm always going to come back to, because I feel like that's the most important thing in this life. So they taught me a lot about timing, and that there's a certain timing for certain things. When I made it, when I created it, that was the time for the creation of it. And then, now, the time that we're in now is the time to release it and to share it, but you don't always know when those two are going to follow each other. You know what I mean? It could be 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 years, 2 decades.
And some people sit on stuff for a long time.
Yeah.
Because it just never feels like, okay, wait, I'm going to keep waiting.
Yeah.
But then you don't want to get caught up in I don't think I want to. I know I've been in that struggle portion.
And that's the artist. That's the artist.
Yeah, you never feel done either. So it's like, is it finished?
Yeah.
Maybe I should add something else
and
to
you,
it.
you can get in your own head, so you got to be careful, because you can get in your own head too much and psych yourself out.
Absolutely.
So that's what I tried to do. I tried to just let go and just let it flow and let it happen. And like I said, I was confident in that I put enough into it. Excuse me. I put enough into it that it can hold its own, and that no matter when you listen to it, it'll sound different.
Yeah.
It'll sound new. You can't put it into a certain time frame because of the way it sounds, or because of what I'm talking about. You know what I mean?
That's true, because if you listen to it too, you're not necessarily going to be like, oh, that was made in this year. You wouldn't think it was made now because of what a lot of people were talking about. But even still, just like we were talking about how K-Dot made a couple of tracks where it's like, it sounds like, something that these kids, I don't know, I feel old saying it, but other people will listen to. So for sure, it is timeless in that sense too. It doesn't like get pushed to any one time period. It does just stand on its own. So to wrap it up then, I'm going to end with mine, but why do you think people should listen to AM2PM?
You should listen to AM2PM because it's a dope-ass project. Because it's, like I said before, what's old to me is new to you. And I guarantee you it doesn't sound like anything that you're listening to, that you've listened to. And it's me. It's me and my experiences, some life lessons, some phenomenal rap, and some great f***s on there from
Absolutely.
very talented people. I was blessed to have worked with the people that I did on this project. I got to shout out the engineer, Matt Montanez, who's our boy, who does all our stuff, Valley Boys, solo stuff. He's amazing. And that's another thing too, like, so you it's not just on the artist that's making it, it's like the other people that put their time and their effort into it too. Yeah. Like, this dude Matt put so much work into this, and it's just crazy how much shit I made him do.
No, there's a lot of production.
Like,
you could tell.
I feel bad and shit, but at the same time, like, I don't, because it's so amazing, and he did such a great job, and I know how proud he is of what he did. Yeah. So, him and all the other producers and everything, just really blessed to have worked with them, and I'm really proud of this project. So that's why you should go listen to AM2PM. Top. That play yourself.
For real. No, and I think you should listen to it because it's dope. But like, I don't know how to like find a word that fits it more than that. It's gonna take you on a journey through something. You're gonna get to feel something and not just be numbed away through things. It's gonna be like this chill vibe that I can't even. It's dope. AM2PM.
That was dope that you said it's not gonna numb you.
It's not. Because even me, I had to listen to a couple of times to where I was like, oh, okay. Some of them it had to give me like the second time. Yeah. But it was because I'm like, there's a lot going on. Well, no, because there's some sampling. And you're just like, oh, okay, but you're so consistent. I don't know how to explain it, but
I don't give you any time to really like rest. or to kind of like take a break. There's no filler. There's no filler.
Because there's so much in it.
There's so much in it. So my advice would be, if you are listening to the project, first of all, I'm proud of you. Second of all,
You did that.
You did that. Second of all, give yourself time, like listening to it, because that was the whole idea of me doing this, was that it was gonna, it was gonna stand the test of time, because that is the biggest test, and that is the test that we all fail, because we ain't never gonna beat that. It's gonna get us all. But give yourself time. I just want you to listen to it, and if you can feel 1/100th of the feeling that I felt while I was making it and creating it, if you can feel just that little bit, then I'm good. I'm good. I did my job. That's all I'm supposed to do.
So, grab some feels when you listen to that.
You can take a horse to the water,
Huh.
but you can't make it drink.
I can. And listen to it because I told you so.
Because Battle said
believe
so.
in me. I have a pretty good vision for things.
You got really good vision for things.
And things just come into fruition. But I would definitely check it out. It actually comes out
Tomorrow, bookofbk.com. You'll be able to go on my website and stream it, share it.
It's going to be on just about every platform, because I'm going to share it all over my Snap, Instagram, Facebook. It's going to be in the Culture Talk group, the Central Valley Roots page, on the Battle and Power Network page.
Absolutely.
And
on the website, real quick, sorry. On the website, I'm going to have like cover arts and everything, so you'll be able to look at some dope pictures for individual songs. And
enjoy the experience.
It's really like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you listen to music just to hear something and not really listen, like, this is for people that listen to music, that feel music. If you don't, I'm not mad at you.
It's just not
but
for
I'm
you.
not glad at you either at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to be able to feel and listen to it. If you want to support otherwise, because it is free, if you want to support otherwise, I got t-shirts coming soon, sooner than soon.
Mm-hmm.
Really dope shirts. If you got a Conscious Color shirt last time, then you already know it's good. These are even better. And I'll take pre-orders soon on my website, bookofbk.com. Let me just make sure they're good and they're right before I start doing that. And that's how you can support it. That's how you can support me as a human being,
And
being human.
And you can come out to the Central Valley Roots Festival.
Two. Second one. So
Absolutely.
nice we had to do it twice.
True. So, as far as what's next, on May 26th, we will both be performing in the Central Valley Roots Fest 2, presented by Battle and Power Network. I will open up with some spoken word. On the lineup, we have Deuce XL back again with some rap and hip-hop. You can hit us up, as well as Saddest the One and Define, their rap hip-hop acts from Fresno as well. As I said, this is a collaborative effort. We're just all coming together, trying to have a good-ass time. We're going to be giving away drinks and gear. We're going to keep you tuned on that. So that's why you have to stay in touch with the event page on Facebook. We are also going to have Miss Selena Lopez, who created this.
Masterpiece.
She was on an episode with one of my Battle and Power Network podcasts, if you want to check out some of her work. So she's going to have that for sale in our back room. So we're just trying to do some free shit to start out. We're going to have $4 drink specials. As I said, if you stay tuned and you use our filters, hashtag RootsFest2, and we're going to have a geo filter for Snapchat from now until May 26th, even throughout the night. If you're tagging in, checking in, I'm going to have someone randomly picking people to give them free drinks. And we almost got to 10 drinks last time. We're going to try to push limits. So I want you to just come out, have a good-ass time. Like, most people don't even want to spend anything to go out. So you're going to get some good-ass music, chill-ass vibes, some free shit, and just a good-ass time. It's a Friday, too, so that's it.
This is how we do it.